Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be recapping today's NBA games from October 29th, Sunday. Today was, I want to say a solid day of basketball, but man, were there some blowouts. You had two really close games, the Rockets and the Warriors. Although the Warriors did win by 11, this was a close game in the fourth quarter. Just Stephen Curry made a couple clutch shots in the fourth quarter. The score, it makes it look like it was a little bit of a not close game, but at the end, the Rockets were winning. They were down 16 in the ball game. The Rockets came back down 16 points to take the lead, 87-85. But then Stephen Curry did Stephen Curry things. Next thing you know, it's 100-89, and the Rockets made a couple buckets, and it was 100-93, and then I believe it was 102. Next thing you know, it was 102 to, or maybe it was 103-93, and then it was 103-95, something like that. But this was a close game at the end. Maybe even the Rockets brought it to 100-95. It was a 5-point game, but then the Warriors hit a couple buckets at the end. But this was a close game in the end, and we're gonna wait to go over that game at the end of this, because I want to go over the blowouts first, because there were a lot of blowouts. I mean, the Nuggets beat the Thunder by 33. The Hawks beat the Bucks by 17. The 76ers beat the Trailblazers by 28. The Clippers beat the Spurs by 40. And now, after all those blowouts, we did get to see an overtime game between the Lakers and the Kings. But, all right, let's go over the blowouts first. So, starting off with the Denver Nuggets and the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I would say that it was probably the worst performance of the day. You can argue Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but you can also argue Austin Reeves, who only scored, I think, 2 or 4 points, and shot like one. I think he shot like 1 for 8, something like that. But Shai shot 2 for 16, 3 for 4 at the free throw line, 0 for 4 from 3, 7 points, 7 assists, and he was just coming off a 34-point 11 rebound performance against the Cleveland Cavaliers, so not a good look for Shai. The Nuggets win 128-95. Jokic has a near triple double, not really near. Needed 5 assists, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Jamal Murray has 19 and 8. Michael Porter Jr. a near double double, 20 points and 9 rebounds, and 13 points for Christian Brown, and 17 points for Peyton Watson, who looked great in this game. Had a big block over Shai, 1 steal as well, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Really good game for Peyton Watson off the bench. And then for the Thunder, besides Shai, who was terrible, 19 points for Chet Holmgren, 12 points for Trey Mann, 13 points for Jalen Williams. Embarrassing. That's an embarrassing loss to the Thunder. That's the first loss that the Thunder have had all season. And the Nuggets are one of the only teams, I think there's... with the Bucks and the Thunder losing today, I think there are only 6 unbeaten teams in the NBA right now. I can't list them all on the top of my head. The Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Celtics, the Pacers, and the Magic. And there's one other team. I can't remember that other team. I don't know if that's in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference. But, yeah, Nuggets improved to 3-0. Thunder get their first loss of the season. All right, how about one of the teams that was unbeaten today, going into today's games, but now take their first loss? And, this was not a good performance for the Bucks. 127-110, Hawks beat the Bucks. 17 points, it's not a huge blowout, but at the same time, the Hawks did have huge leads in this game. They were up 20+. The Bucks outscored the Hawks by 4 points in the fourth quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, the Hawks were up by 21 in this game. Giannis somehow, with this big of a blowout, managed to score 26 points and 11 rebounds. But, I mean, another guy you can definitely argue of not having a great day. I mean, really good players like Damian Lillard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Austin Reeves having terrible days. Damian Lillard, 2 for 12, 2 for 8 from 3, 6 points, 5 assists, 6 turnovers, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. Just coming off a 39-point performance in his Bucks debut. 18 points for Malik Beasley and 12 points for Bobby Portis. For the Hawks, 20 points and 11 assists for Trae Young, 17 points for Bogdanovich, 14 points for Jalen Johnson, 15 points for DeAndre Hunter, 15 points for DeJounte Murray, 14 points for Onyeka Okongwu. The Hawks had multiple players in double figures. They had a total of, I think, eight or seven players in double figures today. Great team performance from the Atlanta Hawks. Wasn't one player, it was a team performance that beat the Bucks today, defensively and offensively. All right, 76ers, Trailblazers. How about this? James Harden was at the game, was on the bench, did not suit up though. Sixers win 126-98. Joel Embiid, no Harden, no problem. 35 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. This is the second straight win for the Sixers. They're 2-1. 24 points for Tobias Harris, 26, 10, and 4 for Tyrese Maxey. 12 points for DeAnthony Melton, 12 points for Kelly Oubre Jr. For the Trailblazers, 20 points for Shaedon Sharpe, and 17 points for Jeremy Grant. Also, Scoot Henderson in his third NBA game, only 4 points. And that was really it. Sixers get the win. Then another blowout, and Clippers win it 123-83. 21 points for Kawhi Leonard, 19, 8, and 3 for Russell Westbrook. And Paul George had 19 points, 18 points for Bones Highland off the bench, 13 points for Norman Powell. Great win for the Los Angeles Clippers. Also 16 and 8 for Zubac. For the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, his third career NBA game, and had a great game the other night against the Rockets, 21 points. I think he had like 11 rebounds, his first career double-double. Tonight, 5 turnovers, only 11 points, 4 for 10. Not terrible. Also, his minutes were a little bit down because the Spurs got their butts kicked. Devin Vassell was their leader in scoring with 14 points, and Jenny Osman had 12. Not a great performance with the Spurs today as they lose by 40, 123-83. All right, then the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, the Rockets, this was a close game. They came back, made this game a really good ball game in the fourth quarter. They had a group in that. I was watching the game. I am a Rockets fan. But they had this group: Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Jeff Green, Jason Tate, and Jabari Smith Jr. That was completely stopping the Warriors. The Warriors had only scored 4 points, and it was 5.5, maybe 6 minutes into the fourth quarter, and the Warriors had only scored 4 points. The Rockets had scored like 12 or 14 points in that fourth quarter. So the Rockets were playing some great basketball to start off that fourth quarter. But then they finally managed to take the lead. It was 85-87. And then Stephen Curry did Stephen Curry things. And the Warriors win the ball game. And that really sucks for the Rockets, to be honest. And as a Rockets fan, this was a really tough loss. Warriors win at 106-95. Warriors win at 106-95. Jalen Green, 21-9. Before you talk about Dillon Brooks, I know Dillon Brooks, made that embarrassing play against Stephen Curry. I'm still trying to get over that as a Rockets fan. That was terrible. But I'm going to make a couple of excuses. Number one, it's Stephen Curry. I mean, obviously you can't make a lot of excuses when you're going to make that big, terrible of a play on Dillon Brooks' end. But Stephen Curry makes defenders do crazy things because he's that fast. He's that quick. He's that good of a basketball player, and he's one type of talent. He's on a different level. Really is. But Dillon Brooks is a good defensive player. He's a good defender. Dillon should have still been able. That's still uncalled for. And also, before you hate on Dillon Brooks is playing good basketball this season. I know he didn't have the best performance tonight. Had 12 points and 4 rebounds. Dillon Brooks right now is averaging 14.5 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, and is still shooting, even though he shot 2 for 5 from 3 tonight, which is 40%, he's still shooting like 55% from 3 on the season, and is averaging like a steal per game. So I don't know if that's $20 million worthy. Right now, he's definitely not playing like he's earning $20 million a year, and he's not playing as capable as much as a trash talker he is. But Dillon Brooks is not playing that bad of basketball right now. But enough about Dillon Brooks, because I'm still a little upset of the way he played tonight, even though he scored 12 and 4. 14 points for Jabari Smith Jr., 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Not bad from Jabari at all. I liked what I saw from Jabari tonight. 19, 5, and 7 for Alperen Sengun. Van Vliet struggled, though. 8 points, 2 for 13. Another good player, another good guard. It's good guards, even all-stars. And, I know Austin Reeves is an all-star, but Fred VanVleet, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Damian Lillard, all those guys struggling. So he struggled. Jeff Green had 6 points. He brought a really good contribution to the bench. And how about someone who was playing their lights out? If you watch this game tonight, you know how much of an impact Jae'Sean Tate brought. He had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. He was one of the biggest players for the Houston Rockets on that 6-minute run where the Rockets made the comeback. And he was being aggressive, on defense mainly. I mean, Jae'Sean Tate is like a better PJ Tucker, to be honest, and a younger PJ Tucker. He's 28 years old. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 8 rebounds, was being effective, was being aggressive. Throughout the stretch of the end of the third quarter and halfway through the fourth quarter, Jae'Sean Tate had 3 jump balls in this game. He was being aggressive on defense. That's the type of player Jae'Sean Tate is. And I feel like he's very underrated on the defensive side. Obviously, offensively, he's not the best. 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 6 from field goal, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. But Jae'Sean Tate was being very aggressive in this ballgame for the Rockets. Very underrated performance for Jae'Sean Tate. And then 9 points for Amin Thompson in his first career NBA game. For the Warriors, Stephen Curry, 24, 7, and 6. Stephen Curry only scored 3 points in the first half. How many times is he going to do this to the Rockets where he only scores like 0 to 5 points in the first half, and then he just goes nuclear crazy in the second half? He was drilling threes left and right in the fourth quarter, and that's what killed the Rockets. Klay Thompson was drilling threes left and right in the first half, 19 points for him, 13 points for Andrew Wiggins, and 15 points for Gary Payton in the second. His best game of the season so far. And then the final game, the Lakers and the Kings. Kings beat the Lakers in overtime, 132-127. 37 points for De'Aaron Fox with 8 assists. 22 points for Malik Monk. 12 and 15 for Domantas Sabonis was 5 assists away from a triple-double. Keegan Murray with 17 points. And Malik Monk with a great performance, 22 points. I think I already went over him, but he had 9 points in overtime, was a big part of their win in overtime. LeBron, 2 assists away from a triple-double, 27, 15, and 8. 20 for Taurean Prince, 30 and 16, and 2 assists and 2 steals and 3 blocks for Anthony Davis, 17 and 9 assists for D'Angelo Russell. Austin Reeves only had 5, 2 and 2, 1 for 12 shooting, 11 and 5 for Christian Wood, 11 and 6 for Rui Hachimura. So that's it for today's games. Use them or your thoughts on today's games. There were 6 NBA games. 2 best games are the Rockets and the Warriors, and the Lakers and the Kings. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.